still on medical, right? I'd want to ask you, why do you think he went to the hospital in India, considering there are so many other different faculties that he would go to? Like, I think the States has some of the top like cardiology institutions. We have Singapore, we have where else? Japan, Switzerland, and Germany. They really have like really good cardiology institutions. Why do you think he went to India to also like kind of like just an almost ordinary hospital when I think he could clearly like just with his diplomatic privileges and everything, and even like just with his wealth, he would have gone to somewhere that's like
in America, so
more established.
There is this misconception or misconstrued image of places like America or Germany having some of the best doctors.
Yeah.
They don't really have some of the best doctors.
No, not medical doctors, medical facilities.
Facilities.
Because when it comes to like, let's just not take away the technology. If you land somewhere like Japan, you'd probably enter a room like this that would give you like measurements, like just by scanning your body, measurements from your BP, heart rate, cholesterol levels, all those things, just because of technology. Germany, definitely one of the top leading. Switzerland, the same. And also the States. And I was doing this research because I was like, I really want to know why. So I'm trying to think was he going there because like it's more like on herbal or more or less intrusive medication treatment that he would receive there? Because we all know, like, you know.
So definitely, he did not just sought after the herbal itself. It's also, you can never just go on the herbal route itself. There is certain medical attention that you need aside from that. Or you're not making it for sure.
True.
But when you are talking about the US having, very good medical treatment, it's because, of course, these people have the technical capacity.
Yes.
When it comes to research, when it comes to the amenities that you need in a hospital, all those, it is there. Or certain technical technologies that is supposed to be supporting a doctor when it comes to treatment. But, India has very good specialists. And also, we have very smart individuals, especially in the medical field.
True.
You've seen the kind of leaders even India produces when it comes to the tech space. So the same happens with the medical industry. It has some of the best specialists, people who have done very good research and output to the world in their own specific field. So that is why sometimes India is also trusted so much. But also apart from that, the reason why India is also a good place, India is not like African people. Africa, we have abandoned fully the idea of herbalist traditions of treatment. But, because India has its own religion of the Hinduism and the way they embrace it fully, they have not also abandoned that idea.
True.
So in India, it is very widespread for people to be seeking different medical attention from herbals and all. And also there is meditation, spirituality, and all those things. So that is something very unique that, one, you might never find in the US.
100%.
Two, you will not find in Africa, because Africans have abandoned, even though we had it just the same as India, but Africans have not embraced it as much. It has died and disappeared. But in India, it is still rampant and it's still there. Not rampant, but it is still embraced. So we still have these special hospitals that offer mediation. They offer these certain ancient treatments that they believe in, and spirituality, talking to the patients and all that. And I think that is the unique aspect that maybe kept Raila there, because I believe Raila has also sought after medical attention in other countries.
Probably,
such as London. He has done it before. He went also to Germany after his detention. So you see, he has already experienced most of these hospitals. He did it in Germany, he did it in London. He also did it in Dubai. So apart from experiencing that, he saw that, I've experienced this, but India offers a certain unique thing. And one thing about certain ailments of old people, it becomes inevitable that the medical treatment you're seeking from other countries or the modern medicine will not eventually treat you.
That's true.
Like we have people suffering from diabetes, they die with it, but they're still getting the treatment. So the herbal medicine gives that alternative, we can offer you the treatment. Try it. So that is what Raila did.
Okay.
And because it also treated his daughter, who was having blindness, who had sought after treatment from different countries, and it did not work out fully. So the moment the daughter went to that hospital and he was able to recover her eyesight.
Well, it was in India?
It was in India.
Okay.
Not so long ago. It was about, I don't know if it is 4 years or 5 years, but I'm not.
I remember something of the sort.
But there was headlines whereby she had actually been treated. And Raila was thanking the entire hospital, certain ambassadors from India for the recommendation. So after the lady regained her eyesight, Raila gained more confident
of course
in those treatments that India offers that are non-traditional.
And I can only imagine,
medicine.
Being at that age, you're now trying to evaluate as many options as possible and think of like, okay, this has worked before. So why shouldn't I try it? Because I'm sure even with the daughter, they probably went to so many other different institutions, given different, analysis, but going to that specific institution there, which I think even in the records, it shows like during his visit, he also passed by, I don't know if he needed like eye checkup or something.
Yes.
But also now that I've opened like my notes, it shows, of course, definitely cause of death was cardiac arrest.
Yes.
And also reports mention like, there were underlying historical issues on hypertension, diabetes. He had like a mild stroke history and also something a bit to do with kidney disease. So you see, he already had like quite a number of underlying conditions.
Yes.
And that's why, again, I'm saying like for somebody with all this going on and he was still waking up in the morning, I do not know how that is possible because even for my case, like, I had like a minor surgery, right? And I also had like even the surgeon on my podcast.
Yes.
And I was like, 2 weeks, I'm not moving. 1 month, I was still like, I feel a bit of pain and I'm not moving. But I can imagine somebody who has all these things, but still is waking up in the morning.
Show up at a rally, talk to
and smile.
Tens of thousands of people.
Oh my God, I can't.
Officiate an entire political party. Not a political party.
Yeah.
An entire government. He was second in command after Ruto now that they had the handshake.
True.
So he was overseeing and almost
a
half
lot
of the
things.
government.
Yeah.
The cabinet secretaries who were there. All these people. So he's doing that with his bad health condition.
Yeah.
And do you know how Raila got heart problems?
No.
Detention. So Raila was in detention under the Moi era.
Yeah.
So while Raila was detained, he was heavily beaten. There was these torture methods whereby they would step even on your chest, or they would hit objects even around your heart, or even sometimes in your brain, or certain, blood vessels that are very important to the heart place. So immediately Raila was released from prison.
Yeah.
He just said that I am not feeling well. I need to get medical attention abroad. And Moi refused. In fact, at that time, his wife had actually been fired from State House Girls just for being the wife of Raila.
Affiliation.
So just the affiliation itself. Yeah. And Raila was trying to get medical condition for quite some time and Moi could not allow him. Because at that time, we did not have the capacity of our own hospitals to address the issue of heart diseases and all. So he wanted to go to Germany. So he fought for it so much until he was allowed to go to Germany for them to address the issues of the heart disease or some complications that he had gotten from detention itself.
Yeah.
So that is where some of his health conditions started after that detention.
Okay. And then another question now, as we summarize, like just on the medical conversation, like why do you think there is not so much confidence when it comes to medical treatment, especially for high-profile people? Like most of them like seek medical treatment outside the country. Why do you think there's no confidence in that? And why not for us just to make sure our institutions have all these things so that, in return, if I ever have an emergency, instead of going all the way to India or Europe, I can just take...
Sorry.
Some water, cold water. Sorry.
You should take some water.
So Why do you think there's no that confidence, and why shouldn't we just build the institutions here so that, if in case of an emergency, instead of me going out to the country, it's easier for me to just fly to, maybe if it's Mombasa or, come to Nairobi, and I just get proper medical treatment.
You know the problem when people talk about that you should be getting medical treatment here in Kenya, they forget that it is not just the normal physician or medical treatment. It is a specialist that you need.
Yeah.
And if you look at Kenya, we lack. We do not even just lack. We have the bare minimum number of specialists in our hospitals. Most of them have left the country through brain drain because our institutions and our system that we've put in place are not actually paying them so well.
That's true.
If you look at cancer issues, you really need a specialist, an oncologist, to handle this matter. But if you ask yourself, how many oncologists are in Kenya? You're talking about a 50, 30, 40. Wow. How is this person going to attend to almost 50,000 cancer patients?
That's true.
50,000 is even a very low number.
Means they'll be overwhelmed on a daily basis.
So these are people who are sought after. So they are not even giving attention to the entire public.
That's true.
Only a few institutions such as Aga Khan, these expensive private hospitals, who can actually pay them so well. So we lack that specialization when it comes to certain medical conditions. Leave alone physicians. We have so many physicians. Definitely, if I'm having a normal medical condition, there is no need for me to be going abroad.
True.
But the moment I'm having kidney failures and we do not have enough urologists, or maybe someone who's experienced as much as someone else who's abroad, definitely I would have to seek that person. And the reason politicians are doing it is because they can afford.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
That's actually very... So you can only imagine now for ordinary mwananchi, that's actually very unfortunate because the costs that I'm hearing about even just getting treatment overseas.
You've seen certain times whereby people fundraise over 5 million for someone to go to India.
Oh,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
so
now it
many
makes
times.
sense. Makes sense,
yeah, right?
Because if they go there, at least they're gonna get the attention and the speciality that you've talked about,
and that surgery that is needed. Even in medicine, there is a hierarchy of people performing surgery.
Yeah.
If you need a certain complicated surgery, especially maybe in your brain, that neurosurgeon here in Kenya might be qualified, but he cannot perform that surgery.
That's true.
Even that institution that we have in Kenya might have the capacity, but cannot perform a specific surgery. I've seen it before whereby someone is being told that this surgery is not performed in Africa, actually.
Yeah,
we only have one institution in India that performs this specific nerve surgery. So you have to go there. Think about that for someone who's a normal mwananchi.
You're done. Exactly. Honestly speaking, if crowdfunding doesn't help you, you just count your days.
Doesn't help. There's so many people have been told the amount of money they need for surgery, and they've said, let me just wait for my time.
I was looking at the costs here of just in U.S. If you're going just for what is it called, average heart bypass surgery, it would cost between 55,000 to 150,000 USD. That's in the US. In Germany, between 30,000 euros to 40,000 euros. In India or Turkey, now we're talking about comes to $10,000, $15,000, which is quite reasonable. And I think now, even if you do the crowdfunding, it gets 3 million or 4 million. You're possibly going to get
cost,
the
and definitely
proper.
If you're still being held at that hospital, there are certain bills that accrue.
Of course,
just the
of course.
So you'll need more than 5 million.
That's for sure. But at least I think now, if we talk about on the lower side, it comes between India and Turkey, which will be between 10 to 15,000.
Yeah.
And then, like you've said, the accrued costs now maybe, and medication, and all those other things.
Giving out those important statistics, the US also offers the same service at its best, just like India. But India is now more affordable than the United States. The problem in the United States is heavy capitalism, especially in the health sector, the health industry. The moment you do not have insurance and you're paying cash for any medical treatment, trust me, you'll break the bank when it's the US. So that's why most people do not go to the US. Even not simple, but these things such as plastic surgery. The US has some of the best cosmetic surgeons, in fact, the best. But people choose to go to Turkey. because it offers that affordability. So there is that problem of capitalism when it comes to the healthcare industry, whereby so many medication has been heightened. So it becomes very expensive to seek medical healthcare in the US.
Okay, and then now, also I was to mention for Singapore, it becomes around $18,000 to $30,000. And that's just like a rough estimate on like places that have like the best treatment options when it comes to the heart. And then also now like the next thing I would like to touch on is like now his age. He was 80, right?
Yeah, he was 80.
He was 80.
But some people speculate that Raila might have not known his real age.
Because those old school people as well, you know how...
Exactly. That Raila might have been even older.
90.
Exactly.
If we're speculating, he could have been.
Raila, I've heard of this thing quite well. Raila was not actually 80.
Yeah.
Raila could have been 90
if we
years
look,
old.
because I'm assuming it's somebody who's pushed himself to his limits. I'm assuming he was eating like traditional foods, not like fast food or anything. If it's exercise, if anything, he was doing too much exercise.
Yes.
Excessive. So I'm just trying to analyze and look at all these things. And at 80, it still doesn't give me like a concrete reason why that would be like the reason why he had to collapse, even after he's had like treatments and all these other things, because ideally we have other leaders who are close to that age or more. But I think also 80 would have been a bit still young.
Too early.
Still too early. So if we're speculating, he might have been older, honestly speaking.
Trump is 70, I don't know age.
72.
72. Orengo is also around the same age. When you're 80, the time that you should speculate someone to be, at least weak is after 85.
Yeah, 85, 90 there, people are 85. Always like their body, like, more you could see like
the
now
body
his
starts
body has.
Giving up on them. But I've seen a lot of people who are 80 and are very strong.
You could see how Moi was climbing those like airplane like stairs going up the Nini.
Yes, in fact, Moi started using a wheelchair after post 85.
There you go.
But at 80 years old, he was still standing. He attended the inauguration, I don't know, of Uhuru. He was all these leaders at that time. So Moi was very strong.
I'm trying to see like the ages. I had also put like a couple of, leaders here, like presidents, both like the states and most of them are ranging around 70s there. And it's crazy because Ruto happens to be one of the youngest presidents. He happens to be one of... He's 50. Let me confirm. Let me just put...
Ruto is 55. Not 55.
56? 58.
58,
yeah. So you see, he's one of the youngest presidents.
Exactly. And that is why people are also saying Ruto will be too young to retire as president.
He's too young. He's too young.
It's at that time.
But that's the thing. Here's the thing. Before we start getting people heated here, the reason I'm bringing up age, I'm just saying, like, if we compare to so many other different presidents worldwide, Ruto is so... I was shocked.
Yes.
Because I was just pulling the stats. Okay, let me just see how old other presidents are. Most presidents are around 72, 75 there. But, when we go to places like Congo, I think that's where like their president is like around 80 something there.
Yes.
And he's still functioning. But 56,
he's very young. So you can imagine if he finishes his term and maybe he does not go for a second term, or maybe even if he goes for a second term, he would have still finished it before he even gets to 70 years. He would still be 60 something. So
he's so young.
He'll be 60 something, still energetic, and he has already left the political
space.
One
thing that I'll also say that, I have to still give kudos to him for what he has achieved for his age. For his age.
Yes.
Because again, we also have to, politics becomes so sensitive when we're talking about different parties, but I also like have to include like, I'm always neutral.
Yeah.
Because I always say like once people are elected, we have to deal with them for 5 years, whether we like it or not. And also when you go outside the country, remember when somebody's asking like, oh, who's your president? You still have, I don't want to be that kid who's saying like, oh, my dad is always like cleaning in the house, he's beating up people. No, I still have to say good things about my country. No, because even if we complain, we've already decided that's what we're going to face for this certain period.
Yes, the way Ruto rose to power was the reason why he's very young right now. It has been very strategic for him, and everything has worked so well for him.
And strategy has shocked me.
He just came from an MP to being again an MP, to being a minister, to being a deputy president, and immediately again being a president. That is why he's 58 and he's still a president. So his rise to politics has been very favorable for him.
Yeah.
It has been very strategic for him. That is why he's 58 and he was competing with Raila, who was 80, vying for the same position.
Yeah. And also now, if I was